Well, the TA2 Muscle Car Championship has come down to this final round at Calder Park for the 2023 season. And two of our championship contenders are right beside me. Josh Haynes, currently second, but you're fighting it out. Very tricky conditions this weekend.
Yeah, it's been very tricky conditions. Obviously, we've had one race yesterday afternoon, which was pretty close. Between the three of us, we literally finished right one by one in front of each other. So, yeah, we've had some good racing. We've had some rain delays today, but yeah, I just want to get out there and have a crack.
Does the fact that Beaches Sea-Doo look after you help you out there? I mean, you've been on the water with them a bit.
We went out and looked before, and yeah, I was like, we need a jet ski for this. So yeah, if you do need one, go see Beaches Sea-Doo. But no, yeah, look, the rain stopped. It's starting to clear up a bit, and yeah, looking forward to getting out there and having a crack. Last
year you went for the same championship. It came down to the final race. Again, you could still be in the running here.
Yeah, look, like last year we missed the last round, obviously because of my shoulder, so that was a bit disappointing. And then this year, Dylan's been unreal at the consistency game. You know, he stayed out of trouble, and unfortunately we haven't been able to. But yeah, look, we're still in it. We've got 2, maybe 3 races to go, hopefully, if the weather stays away, and yeah, we'll do what we can.
Mate, you're fighting out for some great things. Of course, Wallace Bishop got the $5,000 championship ring, the huge trophy, the reconditioned engine as well from the boys. I mean, there's a lot to play for here.
Yeah, look, there's not many categories that put this kind of stuff on offer to win a championship. So that's what TA2 is all about here. We're a family, and yeah, like to get something like this is a massive reward for all the hard work all the teams do throughout the season.
Well, good luck in these next couple of races.
Thank you. Bring it on.
In third place, though, Jackson Rice. Well, you're based here as well, so you've seen these conditions before at Calder Park.
Yeah, so like it's awesome. The boys at Dream Racing, you know, this is our home. This is where we majority do our testing. So you know, it's good to be able to have the car out in the conditions before. You know, have a decent setup under our belt and just see what we can go and do. So.
You started the season off really strong. It's been a battle throughout the year, but you're back here. We've seen some good results.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we've had some highs and lows over the year. You know, we've copped a couple of penalties, but you know, all year, like as Josh said, Dylan's just been super consistent. Josh has, you know, had mega pace, and we've just had to try and catch up. So, you know, coming from P3, we're just going to see how many points that we can sort of recover and, you know, fight to the checker flag.
Now, Monday to Friday, you're working on a lot of race cars and these TA2 cars as well. What is something like this to have a reconditioned engine to start the season off? How does that help you next year?
Massively, you know, like they're a fantastic package straight out of the box, and it's awesome for TA2 to put up such a great prize. And you know, like I'm very lucky as a mechanic that I, you know, work on the cars mostly during the week, and to have something like that to start off on the front foot would be mega.
Well, mate, good luck this afternoon. We can't wait to see how the racing unfolds.
Cheers, mate. Me same.
Down here with our championship leader coming this final round for the TA2 Muscle Cars, Dylan Thomas. Now, a bit of a warm-up earlier today, and unfortunately made a bit of contact with the wall. How bad's the damage?
It's not good. I would have rather not do it. Yeah, unfortunately, we just got a little bit offline. The car just got a little wiggle, and as soon as I got the wiggle, you were off the tracks, and as soon as you're off the tracks, it literally I just slid. I had like nothing, and it almost felt like slow motion. It's a lot of damage for, you can say how small it is. The whole rear roll centre, hopefully the diff's all right. It seems to be plucking gear, so we've got the back end back together. Front left corner, I had to replace the whole complete front left corner. And the front bars, ripped the whole front bar off and all the mounting points. So these front bars are very time consuming to do. So it's probably the least mechanically important bit, but it's probably one of the hardest bits to put back on. So we're working our butts off. We haven't got very long here, and you know, it's all hands on deck. And yeah, you know, our boys are good. We'll turn it around.
Tell us a bit about the track out there. I mean, obviously it was dry yesterday. Today, though, a lot of rain's come down on it. How different is it for you?
Well, obviously we were just doing that warm-up session, so it was more of just to go get a feel. You know, and I gave a bit of gap and wanted to have a feel, and you sort of got to have a half dip, so you can see, like when we go racing, it's going to be, you know, I'm starting 5th, so I'm sort of going to be in the spray. You need to have an understanding. The backside's actually pretty good, so actually quite a lot of grip on the backside. It's only as you come on the straight, and then as you get off the end of the drag strip, there's a spot where it just sort of like gets a bit of a wiggle going. Yeah, you know.
Still got the young fellas. You've got 20-point lead over them, so let's see how you go in these final few races.
Yeah, as long as we don't have a mechanical, we can still keep playing, but you know, if we go out there and something fails, it's Red Rover.
Tough there for the championship leader. Hopefully this car gets fixed, and hopefully we might see you on the top of the podium at the end of the weekend.
All right, cheers, thanks.
And conditions, I'm not going to say they couldn't be worse, Nate, because they might be.
They definitely can get worse, and the rain hasn't lifted off the whole time. And as you can see in Josh Haynes' onboard here, all the water on the dash. But these cars don't have any windows. They're not very sealed from the engine bay back, so your tyres actually spraying a lot of water inside the cabin.
Let's take a look at your lineup. This is race number 3. We have one more to go at 7:30 tonight. Jared Hughes, he won the previous race on debut, mind you. Brad Gardner was the big charger in the Palm family, 22. Nash Morris had a couple of offs in turn 1. He starts out of 3. Jackson Rice out of 4. He's third in the championship. Dylan Thomas is your current series leader. Hayden Jackson from Maitland out of 6. From 7 is Josh Haynes, who could have used a C2 in that previous race. Nicholas Bates out of Canberra lines up out of 8. Lee Stibbs, the South Aussie ex-Pom, lines up from 9. Mark Crutcher from 11th. Brett Nile from 12th. Russell Wright. Matt McKeldin, who has the biggest support group here. The crowd just roared there in the background. There's got to be at least 13 people here just to see Matt McKeldin put on a clinic. Not sure what that clinic is. Maybe he will be at a clinic. Either way, he's out there in that beautifully turned out entry. This would be Brad Gardner on board now. Nice news is that Michael Coulter is back in the Cabelco entry. He missed the previous one. They elected not to come out. They actually lent Josh Haynes a wet weather tyre, and now they've gone, you know what, screw it. I spoke before with Jared Hughes. I said, can you just drift back a little bit, Nath? Maybe, 7th, 8th, and then come back. He said, no. He said, I'm just going out there to flat win. So the thing is, though, he's got Brad Gardner alongside him, but Brad's been doing a hell of a job, Nath.
Yeah, Brad was, for me, Brad was a standout driver that last race. I mean, he come from 9th to 2nd in those conditions, kept on the track. Right now, being behind Jared, he's actually got the advantage. He can choose his brake marker off the back of Jared. And I actually reckon it's going to be a really good battle between the top 3 cars we have out there today.
Oh, look at those conditions. Single file start after 2 laps behind the pace car. 10 laps on the board. And we're about to get after it. Hughes, Gardner, Morris. Nash said he just flat ran out of driver talent in turn 1 on 2 different occasions. That's the bit that's really slippery. When they come onto that part of the racetrack that used to be the drag strip, it's a totally different surface. We build up the RPMs, or did you see Jackson Rice? He had a speculator. He knows he's got to get after it.
Hayden Jackson's gone up the outside as well, so it's going to be pretty feisty going into turn 1. Gardner's looking up the inside, but I don't think he's not going to get that done. He's just going to sit in 2nd.
So the guys in 1st, 2nd and 3rd are not in the championship hunt as such. Just watching Crutcher run a little bit wide. That was Haynes alongside him. Boy, it is wet and slippery out there. Wasn't it the great Dick Johnson said as slippery as a butcher's hook? And the Americans still couldn't quite work that out. There is Graham Cheney in the 51. In the middle of the shot is Mark Crutcher, Rusty Wright. Those 2 guys are actually battling for the Masters 3rd place championship at the moment. The Serco Masters class. Did you see Haynes with the wheel work then?
Plenty of opposite lock there. So Josh actually got ahead of Dylan Thomas there. So I don't know what happened to Dylan on the start. Maybe Josh has got a really good one. But Nash Morris up in the 2nd place here. He's made the move early, so he's definitely going to be chasing down Jared.
Starting at the very back in this one too is Josh Thomas, the son of Brett Thomas, the main man of TFH, Temporary Fence Hire. You would have seen that logo everywhere, hanging off their temporary fence hire. Fences all over motorsport events throughout Australia, that's for sure. This is the battle on screen. That is Jackson Rice in the 7 car. He's just behind Gardner. Dylan Thomas is currently 7th. Now Haynes got by him, and that's the situation where Dylan would have had to go for it. It's all yours. Haynes is in 2nd. He's 24 points behind Dylan Thomas in that battle for the lead. We ride on board with the bespectacled normally Brad Gardner out of South Australia. Back in 3rd, 1.9 seconds off your race leader. God, it's slippery out there, Nath.
I'm generally impressed at how well these guys are holding on. There's a lot of standing water on this track, and the Hoosier tyres, they don't get rid of water very well. So you can see there's not much spray coming up from behind the cars if you compare it to other wet weather tyres, just because the Hoosiers don't deal with water. So for Dylan, this is going to be pretty nerve-wracking this race. It's the worst conditions you could ever want when you're trying to fight for a championship, because one mistake and you're in trouble.
I think I just saw your foot just go towards the brake just then underneath the commentary box table there, Nate. You were literally riding on board. Got to be really careful just here. You can bump those ripple strips. Oh, Haynes runs wide, and Dylan Thomas has to think, do I really need to be here? He's just got to keep staying in that top 5 or lurking thereabouts. Haynes is just in front of him. He won't take that many points off him. Greg Keem is out there in the battle for the Race Tech Race Seats Rookie of the Year honours. As we see Hayden Jackson. Haynes is in behind him. Hayden's done a good job in that Maitland glass car. Look at that nice little shot. We Look out the back of Haynes. He's got Thomas closing in. Lap 4 of 10 of the TA2 Muscle Cars, framed by Hi-Tec steel framing. Oh, Dylan, he's got the green eyes really close there.
He's pushing hard, and as you can see, the water inside the car as well, it's fogging up, and Dylan's looking up the inside there. I don't know, he's going to be pretty gutsy to make a move there, but they're getting right over these curves, which is really surprising, because these cars at the best of times don't like the curves. So, I mean, these guys are racing hard, and for Dylan, I mean, he hasn't got much pressure from behind, so, I mean, maybe he just wants to set a precedent for the rest of the weekend. But yeah, I mean, he's pushing hard for that championship.
Does he really need to do it? That's the question. There is the Mud Tamer entry of Jackson Rice, the Dream Racing Australia car. You can just see that little spot. They come onto the racetrack right there. That little strip of racetrack that's actually different to the rest of it, and it even has a bit of that drag racing traction material on it as well. So it gets really skatey just there. Jared Hughes out to a substantial lead, 3.49 seconds. He's right in behind the flash. Did you see Gardner then?
He's got a good run here, and you can see on the right-hand side of his windscreen, it's starting to fog up a lot, and for these cars, it is very slippery out there, and aquaplaning like that, as I said before, it's here's your tyres, they can't deal with water, so as soon as you get offline, as soon as you get a little bit sideways in the straight, he's hanging on, and that's nearly a change of race suit after the race.
I'm telling Max Dumpty, you said they don't move water well. You would have stopped the phone to him just then. He is the main man for distributing these Hoosier Racing tyres that we use exclusively in the TA2 Muscle Car Series, framed by Hi-Tec steel framing. Gardner is all over the back. Oh my giddy aunt. Morris, he had the butt sticking way out. I'm worried about this.
I reckon Gardner's doing an awesome job behind him. The visibility is nothing for what he's got, and he's really pushing Morris along, and the lap times are coming down competitively as well. They're only 2 tenths behind Jared Hughes now, which is, I mean, Hughes got clean track. He's in the best spot of anyone, and Brad Gardner, I mean, he's lined up a move, but what I've seen here at Calder, he's strong. Gardner is very strong coming onto the straight here. He's got the line worked out, and he's going to be looking for a move into turn 1.
Dylan Thomas again in behind Haynes. He's right there. Dylan. Oh my goodness. So much for just hanging on. He is giving. Now, with all due respect, this is exactly what Haynes would be doing to Dylan. Gee, lost some ground in that little battle just then. So it's Hughes, Morris, Gardner, Rice, Jackson, Haynes, Thomas, Bates, Cheney, Crutcher, Stibbs, Thomas, Wright, McKeldin, then back to Niall, Keem, Coulter, and Paul Hadley. That is the championship leader behind this car right here in the yellow and blue. Dylan Thomas. His son's a pretty handy young motocross racer. That's probably where his career is headed, and Dylan has been the bridesmaid on so many occasions.
Morris on the strong defense here for Gardner. He knows Gardner's coming, and for these guys moving around the track, look how fogged up his windscreen is. He's doing a bloody good job to hang on, but you can see Gardner's going wide and trying to cut underneath Morris here and get better drive, but as he's doing that, he's trying to dry out a line as well. I do honestly think for Brad, the best spot he's got is coming onto this straight. His car is so strong out of corners. You know, he's just got to line up for a move into the next corner afterwards.
2 laps to go. That's Brett Niall in the 54 Dream Racing entry out of Western Australia. And Rusty Wright in the crew number 55 car, currently battling for 3rd in the Serco Masters Class Award with he and Mark Crutcher. As we see the West Aussie. Big news, the championship might be headed to New Zealand next year. That would be pretty cool if that is the case. The 2024 schedule hoping to be announced in the next few days. Just saw McKeldin ahead of Wright. Once again, Thomas all over the back of the teenager from Canberra. Hughes, Morris, Gardner. That's your top 3. And in that top 3, neither of those lot are in the championship hunt. Now, it's a lonely ride for Jackson Rice, and we got Niall around. They call him the King of the West. He said, I'm not the King of the Wets. And unfortunately, he has just looped it.
He's in a very bad spot. He's got it turned around just as the leaders are coming onto the straight here. So we've avoided a safety car there, which is good. But yeah, the Morris versus Gardner battle's still going. They're really getting into each other there. And obviously Josh Haynes and Dylan Thomas. For Josh, he's really got to hang on to this. And, he's getting squirrely. Thomas is looking to take he's taking a bit of risk there. But for Josh, he needs to hang on.
If he makes contact with him and turns him, They're going to give him a penalty. Elliot Barber will be forced to put his dad pants back on and smack his A55. He's going to be very, very careful. He doesn't seem like he wants to be. We got one to go.
He's got one more lap to make it happen, and I'm curious to see what Gardner has for Morris here. He's been very aggressive these last few laps. Morris is hard to pass. He's very good at defending his position. They do a lot of work out at Norwell Motorplex to work on that. And Jared Hughes, he's a graduate. Well, he's still actually in school at Norwell Motorplex, but he's been doing a sensational job as the two cars that coming through lap traffic. Gardner's having a look. Oh, he's up the inside.
Here we go.
He's got him.
What's going to happen here in the background? He managed to squeeze it through.
That was an awesome move. Morris is going to try and line him up here. Well, it gives him a bit of a tap on the exit and try and make him a little bit loose, but Gardner's hung on and it looks like he's going to finish P2, but awesome job by Jared. He's shown him a clean feat so far in the wet. And,
2 from 3. What a drive it's been from Jared Hughes.
Through that boot, it's awesome.
Queenslander. And the Gardner fans are loving it. All the family down here on the main straightaway. He holds on for second. He puts Flash back to third.
Dylan Thomas up the inside of. Oh, that's getting close.
I got nothing. Dylan, what are you doing? That's worth 2 points. That situation there is worth 2 points only that he had to lose in that situation. So I think by my reckoning, he will be something like 22 points. Wow. Jackson Rice gets a 5-second penalty for an overlap. Now let's look at that in terms of the timesheets. It still won't put him back to 5th because he had enough yet.
Well, no, he'll put him back to 5th just.
Yeah, right.
So it'll split Josh Haynes and Dylan Thomas, so it's going to be a bit of a tight battle pack there.
So this will be only about 22 points or so between Dylan Thomas and Josh Haynes as we come into the 4th and final race of the 6th and final round here at Calder Park Raceway, the spiritual home place of NASCAR in Australia. And it's very cool to have the race back in this iconic part of the world, just off the Calder Highway. And this kid, he wasn't even around when this place was built. Wasn't even a twinkle in his dad's eye. He's done a heck of a job, the teenager out of Queensland. Lives in the Gap, nice part of the world. Old Jackie Gardner tuned in with all the boys who are on the headers at home, drinking beer and watching everybody in Panola, all the Gardner family. You can see the standing water, the puddles that they're just coming through here. That is the AC Delco 118 Stang of Jared Hughes. And look at that evil weather conditions. They call it summer in Melbourne. Brad Gardner was second by 5.6 seconds, but it was that battle with Nash Morris that had all of our attention. Jackson Rice cops a 5-second penalty for overlapping. He'll go back to 5th. That'll put Hayden Jackson up to 4th. Josh Haynes, boy, he was sweating. He will end up with 6th. Dylan Thomas gets 7th. Nicholas Bates, Graham Cheney and Lee Stips, the expatriate Pom, does a good job. He won the first round of the championship. We only have just seen him now for the second time. Josh Thomas, he's a rookie, doing a heck of a job. Mark Crutcher in 12th. Matt McKeldin in that Kubota black number 99. One more race to go before he puts it on Facebook Marketplace. Russell Wright and Greg Keem. Evil conditions. Let's go down to Vin Diesel, who's with that young baby-faced assassin once more.
Thanks, Wade. Yes, Jared Hughes, unbelievable drive. It looked like it was easy for you. I'm sure it wasn't, but it was all action-packed behind you.
Yeah. Luckily, we were able to do a little bit of the same as the last run, so got a bit of a gap at the start and then just tried to manage it from there. But it's good. I was just learning more and more as it went on. I got a little bit of a lockdown at one, and a little bit of something came out the rear of me, I reckon, but sorted that out and kept it on track. So another clean run, and can't thank Aaron enough for the car. It's absolutely awesome.
Well done, good on you, mate. We'll see you in the final, and we'll go over to as Wade says, Clark Kent, I think he says, or the young guy from Panola. Yeah. He needs his glasses. Well done, Bradley. Well done.
No, thank you very much. That's awesome. Thanks to Nash. We're both very clean and very cool racing.
Obviously, you were involved in that last lap battle there with there's a bit of lap traffic and a bit of other stuff going on. So fantastic effort. The car came on during the race?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, at the start we sort of didn't want to get any issues from behind, so we sort of just wanted to play from the back. But if I was Nash, I'd probably be pretty poor at the guys there at the end. But it's racing, and I was there at the right time. So cheers. Yeah.
Good on you, mate. Well done, Brad. See you in the final. And third place for Nash Morris. Well done, Nash. An action-packed race for you there, and a fair bit going on in traffic and other things, but you've got home, so you're looking for starting third in the final.
Yeah, we'll see if we can move up a few spots. We're pretty slow on the wet, so we'll see if we can, hopefully the weather gods are nice to us and dries up a bit, but it doesn't look like it.
Well, you're in a nice place, you're in a nice part of the world, Queensland, so you're not used to this rain stuff. It's terrible, isn't it?
It is what it is. You just got to deal with it and press on.
Yeah, good on you, mate. Well done. No worries. We'll see you in the final. Thank you. Back to you guys.
You know, people seem to imply that it doesn't rain in Queensland. It PI 55s down in Queensland a lot. It's just that it's warmer. That's the only difference. You notice that Gardner made the reference then that Nash Morris would have been unhappy with lap cars. So maybe that was part of all of it. Let's take a look back. This was the overlap issue, I think, the 5-second penalty that Jackson Rice got a bit of a smack on the wrist.
Yeah.
He was on from that point on.
Exactly, and as you can see, I mean, I feel for Jackson in that position, because on the race starts, you're allowed to pass before start-finish line. And that was considered a safety car start. So we didn't actually see that during the race.
No,
so.
Lee Stibbs off the racetrack in that Arrow Car Sales Financial Services 66. This had everybody's attention. Dylan Thomas, he's got a 24-point lead going into this with one more race to go. Is he happy? Nah. He wants to give the kid from Canberra all he can handle.
He wants to win, and that's, I mean, take my hat off to it for sure, but that was one hell of a battle throughout the race.
This is the battle right now between Brad Gardner in the second car in the shot and Flash Nash Morris in the ex-Rob Leonard Mustang. And boy, didn't Gardner give him plenty to think about. And it was a really good battle between the pair of them. Very clean and never really got together, I don't think.
It was actually a very respectful battle, especially for the rain here. And
this is the incident, I think, here where...
Yeah, this is where Brad's probably going to be going up and down the pits with a slab of beer and hand out to these two fellas. But, yeah, I mean, awesome move to end the race in final lap and get the move up the inside of Nash. He's put himself in a good spot, and I hope he just gets a little bit more aggressive at the start of the race there and can push Jared to the finish, who... I mean, got a bit sideways there. I don't know if that was a celebration or just hit the water, but awesome job by Jared to be showing these guys a clean set of heels. He's doing awesome.
Now, Nathan, you're way too young to remember the place that is only about 100 metres from us right here, but a couple of days ago, the TA2 Muscle Car Series, framed by Hi-Tec Steel Framing, got a chance to roll around the Thunderdome. And if you know anything about NASCAR racing in Australia, this next series of videos will give you chills. What a situation this was. Now, the racetrack will never be a racetrack again. Unfortunately, the inconsistency and the undulations of the track, it's Mother Nature has taken its toll, and so too has Lady Time. But this was an opportunity that nobody who was involved will ever forget. To roll around the legendary Calder Park Thunderdome, and Dowie and all the team got some amazing images, and those boys will never forget that.
Time for our final race of the weekend. Away to Orange joins us back here in the commentary box, and the rumble is out there. They are warming up and getting ready to go.
They've done a good job, haven't they? They've really been on the money, and no one has been off the racetrack too badly. There's been a couple of times where they've headed a little agricultural, but Jared Hughes looking for a hat trick, this young man out of the Gap in Queensland, and what an amazing championship it's been. This is the fourth and final race of the weekend. It's race 3 for our coverage today. They've turned it around brilliantly in like 3 hours time. 3 races in 3 hours. And this is the 6th and final round of the TA2 Muscle Car Series, framed by Hi-Tec. Big on-yous to Craig Denyer, the category manager, to Peter Robinson, the main man of this incredible TA2 Muscle Car Series, to his beautiful daughter Dana Bullock, who does such an amazing job, and Cam Stendel, who works on all the tech side of things along with Benny Leeds, and Elliot Barber, our driver standards observer when Stevie Johnson wasn't coming to sub in, and Amelia Foster does our PR along with Dowie Jones, and there's a really great team of TA2 Muscle Car administrators for this series, and it's an emotional final race for Matt McKeldin. I am sure that he'll be very happy to get this number 99 car back in the pit safely. He can polish it up and put it on Facebook Marketplace. So here we go. 3 Hail Marys and pass the ammunition. Last ever race of the series for this year. The TA2 Muscle Car Series, framed by Hi-Tec. There's problems already. Did Gardner miss a gear or something then. He was backing up big time.
Surely he missed a gear. This is going to be interesting down under brakes as they go 3 wide. Haynes got a big dive on the inside too with Jackson Rice.
Oh, Rice.
Oh, Hayden Jackson to the outside. Nash has put his nose in again.
Now, Rice, remember, he too has to get the job done. He's got to finish in front of Haynes. There's 6 points between them. We're on board with the man who wants to wrap up the championship. Gardner is all over the shop in that 22. Careful, Dylan, careful. First gear, second gear, just saw the boys get some air on the left side of the car. Bates is in behind Thomas. Gardner, Bradley, rein it in, son. You're not on the header now. Stibbs around them with the IES Motorsport entry. That's either Cheney bagging up. Look at the damage. Big Liberace on the back of the Arrow Financial Services entry.
And that's coming out of turn 3. Yellow. Oh, that's Crutcher, is it?
It's either that or Rusty
Wright.
Oh,
and
my.
that will bring a safety car out. We can see the yellow flag, and the safety car sign has now been brought out.
So this is, I think, a collective of what happened in that incident before. We're going to take a look at the replay. I think it's all involved with the Stibbs car and also the IES Motorsport entry and Rusty Wright in that Crew Industrial entry. So that is the problem right there. Our first safety car for the weekend. Oh, man. So he went, oh, goodness. Rusty had nowhere to go. What we don't understand from that, and that's actually Keem there in that car as well. So here's a look at it now. Cheney, Bates. Now let's look back a little further. How did Stibbs get turned around? That's what we can't see. We just see there Coulter in the Cabelco number 11. You got Keem just to the left. I think they're going to come out of here, and then that's where you see Coulter realises that it's all gone pear-shaped in front. He's jumped on the anchors, and this veteran racer, Rusty Wright, who's one of our series champions, has ended up with the short end of the stick. Have a look at the safety team crew uniforms too. There's a lot of nostalgia just in the safety uniforms at the Calder Park Raceway. They lean in to check that Rusty is okay. Very fascinating man, this guy. Was involved in offshore powerboat racing as well, and is an ageless veteran. Just loves getting after it. Hughes Matt Cav is looking to go 3-peat in this. He was second in race 1, and he's looking to wrap up every race since then.
Well, I was watching Brett Gutman in those last 2 races, and you thought, gee, he could actually take this to Jared Hughes if he gets a clean start, but he seems to have... It looked like he missed a gear on the start. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but there was contact made. Nash Morris went up the back. Jared Hayne went by and made a big move there and followed Jackson Rice down the first corner. So there was a lot happening there. And it sort of condensed the field going to turn number 1. And so that single file we saw going down in the previous races. Now, the red flag is out at the moment, so our cars are going to be coming in. The question is going to be with all the rain we've had this weekend is, how close can the tilt tray actually get to that car to get it off? Because the last thing we want to do is bog bog 3 or 4 tonne into the dirt over there.
Mate, I've seen some Melbourne tilt trays do some remarkable things in the city over the years, so anything is possible. But like you said, they are going to come in. It is currently Hughes from Rice, from Morris, Haynes and Jackson. Gardner, Bradley was just all over the shop in that 22. Do you think he missed a gear or something, Matt? Because
had to be.
They ate him alive, didn't they?
And he was trying to get it back. The aggression he showed after that, I mean, bit of his speedway skills coming out as he came over the crest there. So hopefully not too much damage on the cars. See, Jackson Rice has a bit of somebody else's car hanging off the front of his. So it's either a bit of his fiberglass or possibly someone else's. Nash Morris's car's looking with a few corners there dinged up. Josh Haynes lost another position. I saw that earlier as he came over the top of the hill there. The car got very loose. So maybe they've underestimated how much rain has come down in between their last race and this race.
Or maybe it's just the last race of the series.
Well, you know, they've got time to fix them now, don't they?
I know what you're saying. There is the Kubota number 99 Mustang and Matt McKeldin, his final, unless he pulls a John Farnham, his final round for TA2 Muscle Car Series, framed by Hi-Tec. There is Paul Hadley. What an amazing guy this guy is. Puts 2 gorgeous Camaros on the racetrack. I see Vin Diesel hustling down pit lane there, trying to get a bit of a chat with somebody in a moment. Paul used to race in the Formula Extreme Motorcycle Series. Actually badly broke his leg in a wreck at Winton Motor Raceway. We were all a little bit confused. Did he grab a box full of neutral, or what actually happened with that 22? Let's have a look at it. Single file restart. Away we go. Now, this is riding on board with Thomas, and they just had to go either side. Oh, and they had to get off the dry line as well to go out into the puddles. And this is where it could have got really ugly. Fortunately, it didn't. That was later.
I think they're just still trying to stay out of trouble. Dylan Thomas, you heard him really roll off the accelerator for a moment. They're knowing that 22 points, he can be a fair way down the field and still hold on to this championship, and that's what he's been working towards every round. We saw him and Tim Brooks put it together in the up there in Darwin. We went for the battle up there in the endurance races. They knew exactly what they were doing. Then it was this Lee Stibbs incident. Now, we're not sure whether there was contact made before Lee Stibbs got turned around or whether he's done that in his own trying to exit that corner, but well, there was nowhere for half the cars to go, really. And Russell Wright, well, unfortunately for Rusty, you get all four wheels in the grass, you're a passenger.
Now, what we can't see is what happened with the Stibbs car. There's the damage. There's the end result of the Arrow Financial Services 66, and that was Greg Keem, who had nowhere to go there. But let's go down to the pit lane right now with our very own Vin Diesel, a.k.a. Steve Whitey White.
Thanks, you, Wade. Yeah, just a bit of an update down here. The Craig Keem car has been repaired. It's ready to go again. Obviously, they're looking to get Russell Wright's car out of there. I'm not too sure about some of the other incidents you're talking about. It's a bit hard to see where we are. But while I was walking along, I thought I'd quickly grab Matt McKeldin because it is his final race, or he might be doing a John Farnham Wade. I'm not sure. But you had a pretty good view of some of that, Matty. Do you know what went on?
Yeah, it just looked as though as we were coming up the hill there, Lee Stibbs either got turned or got loose and just went round to the right-hand side. And then poor old Russell Wright was just behind me. I avoided to the left, and Rusty's just hit him and then cannon into the wall on the left-hand side. I haven't seen Lee Stibbs, but given that we're left-hand drive, Russell's pinned up against the left-hand side of the wall there, so he'd be finding it hard to get out of the car. But, you know, it's unfortunate to finish the season on that note. Rusty's a great competitor, former champion, and it's been a great effort by all and sundry to try and get the 3 races in today. So difficult situation at the moment. Hopefully we get it cleaned up and we can get running again. So I was talking to one of your guys before. We're going to do hopefully a bit of a celebration at the end of it. But how's it feel, mate? Your last race here at the moment. How's it feel? Oh, mate, it's mixed emotions, you know. This is one of the best series in the Hi-Tec Oils Super Series in Australia. This is one of the best racing categories in TA2 Muscle Cars, and these are unreal cars. So, you know, I got mixed emotions. I'm really proud of what me and the Kubota team have done this year. My team have done an awesome job. We've gotten, I won't put the commentator's curse on me like I did on Cam Hill the other day. Hopefully we'll finish this race, and if we do that, that'll be the every race finished and completed for this season. So that was our goal coming in. We're top 10 in the championship. I'm really pleased with what we've been able to deliver for Kubota, and I can't wait to see what TA2 Muscle Cars and the Hi-Tec Oils Super Series does next year.
Good on you, mate. No worries. Good luck for the final race. Not sure what you guys have seen on Vision. Bit difficult for us up there, Wade, but hopefully these cars... I mean, look, to be honest, I'm not too sure. It was a pretty good synopsis there from Matty McKeldin about what had gone on there. So, you know, hopefully you guys have got some vision. You'll be able to see what's going on. Just as we follow down, we're going to walk down to... If Michael Coulter will have a quick chat to us, perhaps he will. He had a pretty cool experience last... Well, yeah, it was on Thursday, was he? Had a cool experience running around the Thunderdome, mate. So how was that for you?
Yeah, mate, yeah, no, we had a blast, yeah. I mean, I've never driven around, obviously, a NASCAR track in Australia. I've done a little bit of driving in the States, but, yeah, to drive around the famous Calder Park Thunderdome, mate, it sort of brought back a bit of the stock car era, and yeah, mate, that was an absolute blast. I would have liked to get out of first gear, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers, mate.
How are you going for the race? Obviously, you've seen some of that action. How are you going this weekend? Are you happy with where you're at with Calder Park? And obviously, this is the final race for the year, but looking forward to next year.
Yeah, mate, yeah, look, the Cabelco Camaro, mate, is struggling a little bit this year. We're really struggling just to find some pace. Our qualifying's really been quite low. But, you know, race pace is there, mate. So, Calder Park, yeah, again, first time I've been here, so it's been a great track. So, bumpy as hell down the straight, but, yeah, over the back through the fast chicanes and whatnot, it's, yeah, it's pretty mega.
Yeah, good on you, mate. Well done, Michael. Fantastic. Obviously, Steve Coulter, Michael's father, was synonymous with HQs and trucks and all sorts of things, and certainly Peter Robinson and Steve were the very early pioneers of the TA2 product. As we can see, I'm just hearing in my other ear that they're having to do some track repairs over there and just get Russell out of the car. We walk along, we'll see the couple of the Camaros here, and Paul Hadley's down here. He was actually interested in probably not so happy about the wet weather there before.
No.
But he sort of has gone out and had a run around. The car's nice and straight. The IES cars are always immaculately prepared, so he's having a great run. Paul, how are you and how's the weekend going for you?
Yeah, not bad, yeah. We're still on track and the cars are still clean, so it's good, yeah.
Obviously, you've seen a bit of action there. From where you are, you can see a lot of that action. You've obviously been able to avoid it.
Yeah, I nearly hit Greg Keane behind me, but managed to just, get out of it. Yeah, so, yeah, close shave.
Interesting weather for us. I think we spoke earlier in the day when you were talking about bikes and wet weather and things, but it's been an interesting weekend, hasn't it?
It has been, yeah, especially coming to a new track and getting your head around it, and then the weather turns on you too, so... so you sort of get a double whammy there, Yeah.
Very, very, very tough. And when you've got to choose between them all, there's so much going on. But you see there, Rusty Wright's car being taken off by the tilt tray, so we will get that cleaned up on track. Dylan Thomas, can he get it done? However, it's Josh Haynes, Jackson Rice now that are fighting for the second position. Really, there's an outside chance possibly if something happened to Dylan Thomas, but as long as he keeps it on the road, those two now have to fight for another second position. So,
just watching Keane lock up the brakes. Coming over the top behind Paul Hadley. We're right on board with Brad Gartner. So it's Thomas, Haynes and Rice. There's only 1 point between them in that battle for second place right now. Nicholas Bates, back-to-back Masters class winner. Graham Cheney is 5th. Hayden Jackson, he's done a good job all year. The Novocastrian. And we see Nash, the Flash Morrison at TFH 111. Josh Haynes in behind him. Hayden Jackson in behind him. Again, the Ranger starts to trickle down as we close in behind with Dylan Thomas. Can he wrap up the championship? He's been the bridesmaid on so many occasions. All he has to do, you would think, is bring this thing home. He doesn't even have to go to the whip. Just click into the stirrups and bring her home, Dilzo. Here we go. There's 5 laps remaining. We may not even get those in. Thomas, he peeled out of the line in the blue and yellow car.
Gartner again with issues off the line.
So not sure if it's a gearbox issue. Cool drone shot. Morris getting right in behind Jackson Rice. Nash Morris. Oh, he nearly got through there and off the racetrack. That might have been McKeldin, I think, just there as well. Boy, it's on right now. It's Keem off the racetrack in the De Beer refinish, number 13. Oh, my goodness. Jackson Rice. So this is critical in the podium situation in the championship. Hughes, your leader from Morris. Haynes is up to 3rd. This will solidify his 2nd place in the championship. Can he hold on from here? Oh, up the inside. Gartner working then with Josh Thomas, the rookie in the 69 temporary fence hire Mustang. They're going 86 racing and TA2 next year. And his little brother Diesel has been running XLs here as a rookie. So a very busy family. We spread out just a little bit now. Crutcher in behind Thomas. Lap 5 of 7, Matty Cav.
I'd love to see what happened to Jackson Rice a bit earlier as he go down to turn number 1. Jared Hughes still leading. Nash Morris now. He's got to chase him down. Josh Haynes in the background, but Hayden Jackson, he has done fantastic this weekend. I thought he might actually start to challenge Josh Haynes a little bit later on, but there's our number 1 and number 2 as they head up over the crest out of turn number 3. These chicanes as they head down the back straight. Have to negotiate. Oh, how much air does he get off the ripple strip?
Nash Morris putting it all to the blister just then. Now Haynes under enormous pressure from Hayden Jackson. On board with Gartner, the human highlight reel. As he closes in. That's Cheney just in front of him. Bates is in there as well in that 50 car. Oh, man. It makes you wonder about that gear, that start gear that Gartner was using before. Hughes looking down the barrel of the hat trick. Now they're side by side. Haynes and Jackson. Not that battle there. there. The one behind him, right there. Jackson and Haynes. Thomas watching them going, go after it, boys. Just leave me out of this. Nothing in it here. Nice job from Jackson. Hayden Jackson out of Maitland in New South Wales. Dylan, what are you doing?
There's no need to get involved in this,
I know.
is there? Just stay on the back of Josh Haynes. Josh Haynes has made a couple of mistakes this weekend, so there's no need to do anything silly. He might bring this out on himself.
Mind you,
he slides a car as well with Josh Haynes.
Mind you, he has got Gardner behind him, and that would give you the chills, because you never know what Brad's going to come up with.
Let him go. Let him go at this point. Brad Gardner's on an absolute mission. Whatever is wrong with that car, it can't get off from a rolling start, but after that, maybe we do have a first or second gear issue.
1 lap remaining. Boy, Dylan, do you really want this? You've just got to finish, mate. 1 lap to go. He's grabbing gears. He's all over the wheel. 1 lap to go. Hughes down the barrel of a hat trick. Nash Morris lively in second. Hayden Jackson brilliant for third. Josh Haynes looking to wrap up second in the championship. The TA2 Muscle Car Series, framed by Hi-Tec Steel Framing. Big thanks to that wonderful company. Josh, what is going on here? Haynes, this is exactly like the last race. Oh, he's got Gardner in behind him. Dylan, remember, you got to finish. Does he let Gardner go? The Beecher Sea-Doo car in front. He's got Gardner behind him. What do you do? Dylan Thomas.
What do you do? Here we go.
He's got to let Brad go.
Whoa, look at this. Brad's going to go by you, Dylan Thomas. I don't think you want to risk it at this point.
Nah, you got to let him go.
Final couple of corners here in the championship. The checkered flag is getting prepared.
So Dylan Thomas, he won't win the battle here, but he'll certainly win the war. Hat trick. Beautiful job, Derek Hughes. Nash Morris back to Hayden Jackson, Josh Haynes, and your new champion for the TA2 Muscle Car Series, framed by Hi-Tec Steel Framing, Dylan Thomas. You can put the dad pants back on now, mate. Well done. Jeez, he made us work for it. Holy cow.
Anything could have happened in those final couple of laps here for the final race of the TA2 Muscle Cars of 2023, framed by Hi-Tec Steel Framing. And Dylan Thomas just keeps his cool. Tim Brooks will be in his ear the whole time, though. Brooksy will be keeping him calm.
Well, but was he? I very much doubt that he was keeping anything.
Well, he can give you advice, but I don't know if Dylan would take it.
Gee, the boys did a good job to finish just inside our broadcast time as well. I hope Rusty is okay. Hughes, Morris, Gardner, Haynes, Rice, Thomas, Jackson, Bates, Cheney and McKeldin. Come on, Dylan, you got to bag it up. Do we get a burnout or we get a donut or anything out of him? In that CXC Sensational Kitchens Mustang. Surely he's looking for a spot to bag it up. Is he allowed to? You just see Mark Crutcher and also Michael Coulter pulling up alongside him to say well done. I think they're all very happy for him. He's a great character in our sport and has been doing a wonderful job. One of the many Pro Series contestants here this weekend. He picks up a $5,000 ring thanks to Wallace and Bishop. He's looking for a spot to bag this up for sure. And he gets a new McLaren engineering motor, as well as the chance to be named forever the TA2 Muscle Car Series champ. Come on, Dylan. You know you want to. Let this thing eat. I'm assuming that he's allowed to. He's just enjoying the casual ride home. I would think that will put Haynes in second overall. And you have to feel for Jackson Rice. I don't know how he ended up off the racetrack, but either way, he should end up in third place as well. So there is your results. And what a result it is for Dylan Thomas. Haynes will wrap up second. Jackson Rice will be third. Hughes, Morris, Jackson, your top three. Haynes, Gardner, Thomas. Sheeny got to seventh. Back-to-back Master Series champ for Serco. Nicholas Bates got eighth. Josh Thomas, good pedal for the rookie in ninth. Jackson Rice ended up in 10th. Brett Nile, the West Aussie, in 11th. Matt McKeldin gets 12th. Michael Coulter, 13th. Mark Crutcher, not his best weekend, but the wifey is here this weekend, so you'll have fun. Paul Hadley and Greg Keane, great aerial shot here from there we go. I thought he had to get out there and cut it loose. Great character, this guy, that is for sure. And what a well-deserved championship for him. He's just traumatised, one of the witches' hats right there, and hope he can find his way back. Been a fantastic championship. Really have enjoyed this remarkable series. Big thanks to J-Mac and the team, of course, with Matty Cav and Stephen White and everybody that helped us to announce this series as part of the Hi-Tec Oils Super Series. And the TA2s really have lived up to their headlining bill. We've seen some amazing racing from Winton up to Darwin, Queensland Raceway, Morgan Park as well, Sydney Motorsport Park. Let's take a look back at your Hi-Tec Oils highlights right here. And there seemed to be a problem with Brad Gardner on the start. The thing just didn't get off the line. I'm not sure if it was a second gear issue or something, but they were eating him alive at this point. Thomas was kind of fearless. Even when there was so much to lose, he was still ploughing in and doing his best to get the job done. There were some early casualties. Rusty Wright, unfortunately, was one of the bigger ones, and so too was Lee Stibbs. So look as we rock down into turn one. Hayden Jackson on the outside. Morris made good ground in the TFH entry. This is the incident here where Stibbs went around and Rusty Wright tried to avoid him and tagged the concrete on the other side. It also got Keem involved and also Hadley. Restart after all of that. Again, the AC Delco Stang of Hughes looked to drive away. Now this is interesting here. Rice battling hard with Morris. Little bit of contact just then. Fair bump, play on. No tongue involved, just a bit of a peck on the cheek. There was a good battle, but oh, that's what happened right there. He just got in the slippery stuff, Jackson, and termed the mud tamer entry. Just see Keem getting off into the slop. And this was a great battle right here. Haynes alongside Hayden Jackson in that Maitland Glass entry. Haynes was lively all year. He, of course, battled for the championship all year last year with Jet Johnson. Had to have knee surgery on the final round and couldn't really contest the final round at Winton when Jet Johnson wrapped it up. This guy, what a talent. Out of the gap in Queensland, Jared Hughes wins 3 out of 4 of the races on debut. He's got some talent, this kid, no doubt about it. Now, whilst he might have got the 3 out of 4, it was Dylan Thomas who grabbed the championship. Look at all those purdy-looking race cars right down there. And Matty Cav looks like he's standing by with the baby-faced assassin already, Hughes Jr.
Here's our round winner, Jared Hughes. Fantastic weekend for you. Look, the rain, some tricky conditions, but you dominated out in front.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. It was a good way to end the weekend, getting three race wins and a second place. So, no, I can't thank TA2 Australia enough for giving me the chance to have a drive here in AC Delco and all my other supporters. It's after the year we've had in 86 with all the problems, it's pretty cool to end it off with a win. So, no, thank you very much.
Well, congratulations on the weekend. We are going to head, though, and crown our 2023 champion for the TA2 Muscle Cars, framed by Hi-Tec, still framing. Over here, Mr. Consistent himself. Let's bring out the championship wreath, Dylan Thomas. Congratulations, Dylan. I mean, can see the emotion on your face already. The tears, they're welling up in your eyes.
Not a crier, mate. So, yeah, no, but it's definitely pretty special. Like, ever since I put it in the wall this morning in that warm-up, the guts have been pretty tight. But to be fair, it was pretty like cruisy weekend. We didn't have to do a lot. So putting it in the wall actually brought the intensity up and probably made the weekend feel like at least we won something. You know, we put the championship together for the whole year, and you know, Hainsey and Jacko were awesome all year. You know, so you know, like credit to those guys. Those guys are unreal, and you know, all the ring-ins that come at different rounds, and you know, managing that, you know, yeah, a relief, big relief.
Here we go. We'll let George Gambino from Hi-Tec Oils bring over your championship trophy. What a championship winner. Dylan Thomas, ladies and gentlemen. Wade, to get anyone better than that, super consistent this year.
Yeah, it's a cool moment. It's nice to see him. I'm not a crier, but the guts has been a bit tight since, as he said, he turned the thing around. Well done, Dylan Thomas. You hung on for the thing. You certainly didn't do it easy. Well done, Nick Bates. That's the guy just to the left, just right there, who is our back-to-back Masters class champion. Well done, Nick. Good job, as always. And Matty Cav is down there with him right now.
A Masterclass winner for 2023, and Look, it's still a championship to be won there. Just get the rethought. You come on, big. I know you don't like to talk, but let's get a few words out of you.
It's been a super tough year. Everything hasn't gone our way, but in the end, we've sort of come good in the last couple of rounds, which has been great.
George is just getting the lid off so you can have a drink out of it later.
Saw some champers in there. Crutcher and Paul and all the other Rusty, who I hope is okay. I haven't heard. Is Rusty okay?
We're still to find out.
Okay, so anyway, thoughts go out to Rusty. Hopefully he's okay. Those guys are super quick, despite the fact we're a bit old. We still go okay. And thanks to John and Sam, we got this little team that get it done, and it's good fun to come and do it with those guys. They do a great job.
We'll let George bring your trophy over. Congratulations, Nick Bates, our Serco Masterclass winner. What a fitting finish it is, Wade.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done to yourself, Matty Cav, too. Congratulations to you and Stephen, and also Shannon and everybody that worked so hard, and Jamie Mack as well, our co-commentator. Well done to George Gambino, his belief in this series through his Hi-Tec Oils company, and congratulations to everyone in the TA2 Muscle Car Series, framed by Hi-Tec Steel Framing, and well done to all of our production team this year for the TV. It's been an epic year. I can't wait for 2024. The muscle cars have absolutely rocked it. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage this weekend from a rain-soaked Calder Park Raceway. On behalf of Jamie Mack and Matty Cav and Stephen White and all the team, it's Wade Orange just saying, we'll see you next time, and leave the speeding to us, would you?